sinking and I'm thinking, what's the reason why we holding back and being kind? What's the disease? But then I sense we are fine. It'll all happen. When the world is full of violence and it needs a little kindness, I just sit and pray in silence. And God shows me the signs, open my eyes, realize we are fine. Last night I'm walking home and a homeless man says hello with a smile to let me know that he's got a lot of hope. He says, have faith, young man, we are fine. The world is kind. Small acts we do together, even though maybe alone, changes the world for the better so we can call it home. And this is life as we know when our hearts are aligned, the magic that unfolds one small act at a time. Throw your hearts up, let it fly high, let your love for all the world spread through the sky. Let it drop down, let it all go, spreading kindness through every single living soul. Can you see a love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me, time will be always. Thought this day would come where I would feel it and say that each and every one of us have paved the way doing good, and now we're all just moving up. When I'm kind to you, you pay it forward. This is how we build trust. Never had faith, but now I'm seeing you eye to eye. Wanna gift you my life, wanna spread love before I die. Thank you, God, for finally letting me realize when I serve man, I'm really serving you in disguise. Smiles everywhere, cause now everybody's got the bug. Ain't no life without the love. If it is, it ain't no fun. What we gonna do now? Just grab a friend and give a hug, spread it out real wide so everyone can be touched. Throw your hearts up, let it fly high, let your love for all the world spread through the sky. Let it drop down, let it all go, spreading kindness through every single living soul. Can you see a love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be out of time, and kindness will be all we can leave behind. Ooh, all we can leave behind. When all is said and done, kindness is all we can leave behind. Ooh, behind. When all is said and done, kindness is all we can leave behind. Throw your hearts up, let it fly high, let your love for all the world spread through the sky. Let it drop down, let it all go, spreading kindness through every single living soul. Can you see the love for me that's shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be out of time, and kindness will be all we can leave behind. Throw your hearts up.
Give it up, everybody. Good morning. Throw your hearts up. Come on. Throw your hearts up. There we go. Are we happy? Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living San Jose, where we're transforming lives, building dreams, sowing seeds of greatness, and making a joyful noise. Yes, we are. Thank you. My name is Mark McMinn, and I am your Sunday service host this morning. It's a great pleasure for me to be here. We ask that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. Welcome home. It's good to be here with you this morning. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're a guest, welcome. It's nice to have you here with us. We have a welcome packet for you. Look, we have a gift. Gift with attendance. If you get to stay with us after service today over in our fellowship hall, our concierge team would be happy to spend some time with you to talk to you about the great things that are happening here at our great community. If you have to go out and sow seeds of greatness this morning, our ushers will be by the door to give you your packet and wish you a great day and hope that you'll come back to spend time with us. Hi, choir. I have backup singers. This is great. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. Welcome to our virtual community. Hello out there. I understand we have global attendance this morning, so I'm global now, too. This is really fun. Max Overland is your moderator. Just hit the Ask Max button on your computer, and Max will be glad to help you and answer any questions that you may have. Did I cover that? No. If you want to stay connected with our community, there's many, many ways to do that. Your phone. Who has the app? There you go. Your bulletin's on the app, by the way. Our Sunday bulletin is full of information about how to connect to our community. You can call, you can click. I can't save you money on your insurance, but we can help you on your spiritual journey. Anywho, all right. So this is my favorite. Oh, wait, we have flower dedication, don't we? Yes, we do. It's a love dedication this morning. It's a gift from John Hazen, celebrating an amazing first year of marriage to the love of my life. I love you, Jen. You hear? Stand up. There we go. Look, there's love in the room. All right. Now this is one of my favorite times of day. Miss Nicole, come on up here. Oh, come on. Jim Westbury, come up here. Jim Westbury. It's all his fault that I'm here. So I want you to stand up and say hello to your neighbors by giving me a hello, a handshake, and a hug. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I was so busy hugging all of you. Those of you I haven't met yet, I'm Reverend Susan Overland. I'm your assistant minister. I'm also your practitioner of the day. And I have the privilege of inviting you to join us in a chant led by the beautiful Michelle Jordan and our choir. The chant will take us into 2 minutes of silence, after which I'd like to pray with you all. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. There is only one. And it makes no difference whatsoever what we call it. Source, universe, presence, power, God. I am. It is present. It is in the music, the notes from the piano, the space between the notes, the colors of the music, of the words, of the silence. It woke you up this morning. Something woke you. It whispered gently, get up. Go. Sing. Pray. Celebrate. Serve and be served. And so whatever message you heard, it's awesome because you are here. And that is not an accident. You are here. And God showed up as you today. And every day. Reminding you that you are whole. You are perfect. You are complete. There is nothing missing. There's nothing broken. And so my prayer today is simply for you to be you in all your glory, in all your beauty, in all your divinity, to just be you and to just be so grateful that when it whispered, you said yes. And all you need to do for the rest of the day and this week and maybe May and maybe June and maybe 2014 is to just keep saying yes. To just keep showing up and being you. Because no one else can do you like you can. And I'm so grateful to be with you in this service, in this celebration. And I just invite you to take one more deep breath and anchor this prayer with me by saying, and so it is. And there's an affirmation. I've been on vacation. Please join me in our affirmation. Without reservation, I now manifest and experience in all fullness and completeness God's perfect idea of me, and in all respects, every action, function, and structure of my body now conforms to it.
Okay, we're going to wait while the doors open and have everyone come in, because there is a modest amount of arrogance in my soul, which says I want everyone to hear my words. Come in. That's it. I'm Doris Hoffman, your Insight speaker of today. And let me just jump right in and tell you, I love words. Pure and simple. Everything about words I sort of love because they allow me to connect with you, and they also allow me to express. Well, wait a minute here. Let me clarify just a moment. When I say express, I mean there is out there, and then there is in here. So let's stay with the out here because that's far more pleasant in a way. And I can say, you know, whether I'm writing a Doe Vision, writing an email, even the occasional article, I take shameless delight in finding just the right word or the right phrase. And I'm so equal opportunity that I also am entertained endlessly by someone else's perfect response or sentence. So, consequently, or what I should say is that although finding the right word isn't always an effortless activity on my part, I do strive to find the right words that will give you my perception of an event. And sometimes, just sometimes, those words are amazing. Sorry. Okay. Now, when we turn to my interior world, however, we've got a whole different ballgame. Because my words tend to dry up, and my perceptions of me, my feelings, and my beliefs seem to move toward that area of sterility. It's sort of like, think of it as minimalist art. You know, black on black, white on white. There seems to be nothing there. And then in an effort to uncover my feelings and my perceptions, my beliefs, I even tried, to talk like, thinking, anyways, like a teenager talks. That didn't help either. So in sum, unearthing a belief, finally in my universe, finally led me to the point where I said, you know what? Maybe I truly am just authentically inarticulate. But I decided eventually that I had to do something about it because there had to be some way that I could uncover my beliefs and my feelings. And so I decided, well, what I have to do is find a way to be as eloquent in my interior world as I am in my exterior world. So I began very haltingly and stubbornly, actually, and I struggled. I'd take a step or two forward, I'd fall back a step, and then I'd look around and I would say, wow, I'd lapse into this world that gave every semblance of being in the Sahara. All sand dunes and swirling winds, sort of obliterating absolutely everything. So that's where I said, but that led to another discovery, is that the reason I was just stopping or lapsing or running backward was that I discovered that whenever I got too close to uncovering a belief in my world, I would close down. I would become defensive, or I would simply turn away. So it seems actually that I could meet others where they were, i.e. with compassion, but I could not ever do it for myself. So in taking a pause, the best way for me to really characterize this absolute need for compassion to uncover one's beliefs and feelings, I found it in Pema Chodron because she summarized it quite beautifully. She says, compassion isn't some kind of self-improvement project or ideal that we're trying to live up to. Having compassion starts and ends with having compassion for all those unwanted parts of ourselves, all of those imperfections that we never want to look at. So, I guess this way of viewing my universe is taking a bit of time. It remains a bit elusive. Yet I will tell you, and I want it for you as well, that when I can cherish a moment when I do show up in love for myself, then I know I can also meet you exactly where you are. Thank you.
A very good morning to you. I am David Bruner. I am fortunate to be the Senior Minister and the Spiritual Director here at Center for Spiritual Living. I have been here, this is my 15th year here, and it's extraordinary. When I have a Sunday off, I typically don't hang around in church. When I have a Sunday off, I'm usually doing what most people do on a day off, sleeping in, skiing, riding a bicycle to Los Angeles. Well, today, actually, I couldn't not be here. We have a guest speaker, and he's also a guest performer and a guest artist, but he's a pilgrim, and he's a wayshower. And although I don't have a sermon to offer you today, I'm very grateful that I don't, because it gives me a chance to be here and to be in this room and to sit among you and to be refreshed and renewed and to be cracked open and stirred and maybe even a little bit uncomfortable. I am Catholic by origin. I probably will always be Catholic, like I will always be Irish and German and French and Scotch, and I will always be blue-eyed. And the Catholic part of me is thrilled with the idea, may the peace of Christ disturb you. So may the peace of our guest today, may he disturb you. He's disturbed me beautifully already. From the Wharton Business School to Wall Street to fame and fortune as an MTV rap star, at some point along Nemo's journey, he realized that he was walking a path of suffering and that the only path to light was through selfless service to others and through his own internal purification. In his mid-20s, he abandoned the limelight and he found himself meditating in the foothills of the Himalayas. There, an inner voice nudged him to radically simplify his life and to find his purpose in service to others. He moved to the Gandhi ashram in India and he dedicated himself to the children in the surrounding slums. Fast forward to April 2012. Nemo and a dance troupe of 16 of his kids toured the world with Ekatva, which is a performance whose ultimate message was one of oneness, and that has set the trend for him since then. Nemo has recently embarked on a project to bridge selfless service, love, and music, and he calls it Empty Hands Music, and he's here in service for us. Please help me welcome Nemo.
It's a blessing to be here today. Thank you for the beautiful invitation. I grew up in LA and was in school in Philly for a while. I was in New York for a while, and then back to LA. Last 7 years I've been in India. And it's quite interesting because I would never have projected that ever in my life. Because when I grew up, and when I was going there when I was young, it's dirty and this and that. Not something I want to hang out with, you know. But last 7 years, and last 5 years serving in the slum communities has shifted me. And I think one of the biggest shifts has gone from thinking big to thinking small. Because over there, people literally are on day-to-day. I mean, even the groceries are on a day-to-day basis. If you're living in that type of community, you're buying enough oil, enough salt, and enough veggies just so that, because you don't have a fridge, so just so that it goes. So I went from this business school mentality to change the world to this small mentality, just cutting fingernails and cleaning little areas. And it really shifted the way I thought. One of the beautiful lessons I learned is, especially working with children, is that it wasn't about changing the children. And these are children that have very little from resource perspective. But it was about planting seeds in these children's hearts and minds. At the same time, planting seeds in my own. And a lot of times, we as individuals get frustrated and say, I want to be this, but I'm so far away. How do I get there? And we're too caught up in thinking about how am I going to get there? How am I going to pick those fruits? I want those fruits. I want that fruit of patience. I want that fruit of a car. I want that fruit of happiness. And what I was taught here by these children and by so many beautiful people, as well as my friend Daniel Nemad, who you might know, who's a wonderful singer who's written this song called Planting Seeds, is that actually, instead of searching for the fruits, what I need to do is just plant seeds. And just plant seeds of goodness. And whatever emerges from that, inshallah, let the higher power figure that out. But my intention is pure in this moment. And I trust that it'll all come around to support me, whatever that means. But the next moment, I just need to focus right in that moment and plant those seeds. And Johnny Appleseed, Johnny Chapman, was an amazing soul. Over 4,000 miles this man walked around America, planting seeds in different people's farms, in no-man lands, without any intention to reap that harvest. And so this song that we want to share with you is a song called Planting Seeds that my friend Daniel and I were able to work together on. And just in that spirit, how can we offer without expecting anything in return and let everything just overflow from there? Planting seeds. I spent a long time running. I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around. Whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, whatever soar will soar. It's like your whole life you've been training for this moment, and when the time comes, you just disown it, meaning you just surrender, don't control it. Not interested in the clay pots and mold and sitting next to your path trying to unfold it, or waiting for the fruits to fall down towards you. Let quite gorgeous, so you take steps away instead of towards it. What a rush, feeling freedom with nothing to hold. We've been taught that what you touch will always turn to gold, but now we're learning when we let it go, it overflows with no credit to take, because no credit is owned. A higher power working deeper when the seeds are sowed, and when the seeds are true, then the seeds of gold. But the real gold is joy when life starts to flow, and when it does, you just smile, because now you know. I spent a long time running. I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds. Yep, let it grow, let it grow. If it dies, it dies, come on. And when it works, it works. What? Let it fly, let it fly. If it fails, it fails. Come on, let it soar. Let it grow, let it grow. If it dies, it dies. Come on. When it works, it works. Let it fly, let it fly. When it fails, it fails. Come on, let it soar. I'm planting seeds and nothing more. It's an interesting concept, and I think in all of our world's religions, they all share the same thing. How can you offer without expecting in return? And when you do that, I think we've all probably experienced that once in our life. When we do something with so pure of an intention that the world conspires. And sometimes we have to fight through this idea that, no, I don't see the fruits. I don't see the fruits. Where is it? And that's the faith that we talk about. That it will come around. And it's been a blessing for me to really try to work on myself over the past years. You know, there was a point where I felt like I had reached a dream come true. I was making a lot of money. I had my own animation studio, my music thing. And like David was sharing, underlying all of that was this foundation of suffering for me. And like on the outside, everything was good. And on the inside, I was like, what am I doing? Like, how is this? And the reason I call this project Empty Hands, this music album and this project and this pilgrimage that I'm on, it's so important for us to understand and put things in perspective sometimes. Right? We're one of 7 billion, only human beings, trillions and gazillions of organisms on this planet. But we come on this planet empty-handed, crying. And we leave this planet empty-handed. And so if that is an ultimate truth, and we can all probably agree upon that, then how do we want to spend the time? How do we want to dance in between? In this short segment of time. I was reading somewhere that they took the 3.5 to 4 billion years that this planet has been alive for and just put it in 1 year. So January 1st is the beginning of planet Earth, and December 31st at the end is where we are right now, here and now. And bacteria came in around February. And fish came in around November. Dinosaurs came in around December 10th. They left around December 15th, 60 million years or so. Each day is 12 million years. You know, Homo sapiens, 11:45 p.m. on December 31st. Human beings, recorded history, Jesus Christ, Buddha, recorded history, last 15 seconds of the year. It's very humbling to realize we are nothing and we are everything. You know, and with that consciousness, just having that perspective once a day, once a week, once a month, whenever we can take the time to say, oh yeah, this is what I'm a part of. Much bigger than me. And that's just one planet we're talking about amongst billions of systems. It gives us a little humility to say, oh, okay, it's okay. Everything is all good. How do I want to spend my time while I'm here? And we ask that question, and we start saying, man, maybe I should just be a good human being while I'm here. And when I roll out, I can be happy about it. You know? And I've been getting a lot of teachers in kindness, which I'm realizing ultimately is the real God, is what we can offer. There's this one young girl who's become a little sister of mine, Priyanka, in India. She lives in the slums in a city called Pune. Tough life. Father is in prison for life for murder. Mom is supporting her. She grew up in an orphanage. Now she stays full-time with her mom. And she's become a dear sister of mine. She's part of a musical group that I've been supporting. They're working on a musical called Maya. And Priyanka taught me some amazing things just over the past few months. One time we were speaking at a conference together. She's 14 years old, but she's got the soul of an 80-year-old. And so we spoke at this conference together, and after the conference she comes up to me and says, Nimo Baya, Nimo Baya. Baya means big brother. She says, I have a gift for you. This is a girl with, when we think of it materially, she has nothing. She hands me this rubber jar with a slit inside. And I shake it, and it's money. I said, no, Priyanka, I don't want this. You know, you keep this. I said, what is this? She says, she just looks at me. I said, Priyanka, what is this? I don't want. She said, no, Nimo Baya. You do something good for somebody else with it, and she walks away. Not only is she offering me a gift, but then a gift to offer somebody else, she's left in the dust for any credit supposed to be received, any karma points or anything. I mean, she's just disattached from that. And I was like, whoa, so I didn't even use that money. To date, I have it in my little temple where I have all the different gods of the world and pictures of people that are inspiring for me, and I've put that jar there as a reminder. Wow. Like, I can be kind like that? Priyanka, thank you for teaching me. And then she goes on, we spend the weekend in Bombay, and then she calls me in the middle of the week saying, Nimo Baya, we went to this old, so there's 30 kids in that musical group that they're a part of, and she said, we went to an old people's home in Bombay, and she has this teddy bear. Her teddy bear's name is Nia. And she brings Nia with her everywhere. So every time I've seen her, Priyanka has Nia with her. And we know, I'm sure most of us grew up with teddy bears in our hands and hearts. So Nia is something, she has two prized possessions, Nia and her mother. And Nia is everywhere with her. She calls me, she says, Nimo Bhaiya, I'm sad. This is that week after Bombay. I said, what happened, Priyanka? She said, I went to this old people's home. She says she's sad and happy. I went to this old people's home, and I was spending time with this lady, an old lady from South India, so they couldn't speak the same language. India has many dialects. She said, this old lady seemed really sad, so I went to go get her a chocolate, but next to my backpack was Nia, so I brought Nia and the chocolate, and I gave her the chocolate, and then her eyes sparkled when she saw Nia. And my mind was confused. My heart said I had to give Nia to her. And so she offers Nia to her, and with the embrace that the old lady gives to Nia, she realized that that was it. She wasn't going to ask for Nia back. And she was calling me because she was confused as a little girl, saying, my mind feels very greedy, and I feel like I shouldn't have given it to her, but my heart feels so fulfilled. She goes on to teach me this lesson. She says, never think about it. When your heart says something, you do the act of kindness right away. And what's beautiful about us as a human species is that the path that we walk every day, and when I mean the path, I'm not talking about a spiritual path. I'm talking about the physical path that we walk every day. You know, if you imagine some colored powder coming out of your body and just tracing your journey in a day, the physical journey, wherever you are, going to the grocery store, to the bank, to work, back to the yoga studio, back home, there, into the living room, into the family room, back there, feed the dog. There's a path that we are walking, a physical path that we are walking in that day. And all we have to do is be kind on that path. It's not bigger than that. There's nothing much more philosophical. And there's nothing deeper than just that simple truth, that if we can offer our simple, loving kindness, as much as we can, we're human, we go through our ups and downs, along that path. And that's what I felt like I'm learning from Priyanka. That I can be anywhere, I can be anyone. I would never want to judge anybody else for who they are. I don't need to judge myself for who I am. I am who I am where I am. And when I am where I am, I can just offer that loving kindness in those spaces, in that day. And that's the end of my day. And that's the most beautiful life I could probably live if each day kind of falls into that pattern. Then I don't even care what I do. Yeah, I work here, I do that, I sing this. That doesn't matter. That's like a projection of what's really going on inside here. And so that's kind of the lesson I learned from the souls, noble family like yourselves and people that I'm spending time with. How do I first fill my cup of gratitude up? Yeah, coffee is good, but I'm just trying to fill that cup of gratitude up every day and every night. And then, unlike coffee, I want to spill it because it turns into kindness. And so that's the kind of closing thought I wanted to leave us with. You know, it's like, how do we sit here and feel the magic? And every child has that magic. We lose it somewhere along, I don't know where, 7 years old, 10 years old. There's so much magic in our day, but we're just kind of used to it. We're used to our legs working. We're used to the eyes opening up, the heart beating. That's all old stuff. That's been happening since I was born. I don't really care about that. You know? But if we can say, no, you know what? To me, I need to still my mind and realize how much of a privilege it is for me to have what I have, for my heart to be beating, for my hands to be moving, for my family to be around me, for my baby to be healthy, for this apple to be waiting here, for me to be able to eat its nutrients and offer myself again. If I can wake up and go to sleep on that note, then I think I'm walking a good path. Because that gratitude is just going to overflow into beauty, you know. So I leave us with that. Maybe we go to sleep every day with 5 thoughts. What are we grateful for? And it can be as silly as the pillowcase not having slobber on it. because my husband or wife cleaned it today. Or it could be as beautiful as the souls that I have in my life, the center that houses us and nurtures us and recharges us for the week that we have to go and actually practice what we're learning. Or it could be the fruit and the food on my table. Millions of things. Maybe we start with 5 a day, 5 a night before going to sleep. Imagine going to sleep on that. That sounds good. That sounds like some good sleep. In that spirit, we want to share a song called Grateful eventually for the end of the evening or morning. But yeah, thank you.
I know we have a lot of guests who are here. Welcome. I'm very grateful that you're here with us. Typically at this portion of our celebration service, I have an opportunity to pray with you, and then that's followed by our typical offering, collection, if you will, and then there will be another song, and then we'll have a chance to receive Nemo's album. So I invite everyone, guests and visitors alike, to move into prayer pose, whatever that means for you. For me, I like to pray with my eyes closed because I think so much that when my eyes are open, I'm thinking. But I'm finding that prayer isn't a thinking process so much as prayer is a surrender process, a surrender into the universal truth that exists most of the time, about which I'm not aware or awake because I'm too busy thinking about which fruit I'm going to pick. For those of you who are new in this room, I'm just going to tell you that what I'm up to right now is I'm praying, but I'm praying not to try to get the thing itself to come closer to me. I'm praying so that I might move closer to the idea of the thing itself. And prayer works because I get a chance to make a declaration, make a commitment, or establish a covenant with the Almighty, the invisible, the great and the big and the tiny. The thing that is causing the sun to pulse its heat at this moment, at the same time causing an ant to move about in its path. And I am made of the same thing, even when I forget. But right now what I'm doing is I'm making a promise publicly, and I'm making a promise not just for myself, but for anyone who's within earshot, anyone who's in this room, or anyone who's watching online, or anyone who might be listening to a recording of this on an MP3 player while they're at the gym or headed to yoga class. The commitment I'm making is that I'm taking a stand for this community. And the stand that I'm taking is that there is no thing in our lives that is so big that it overpowers us being kind and gentle, being generous, compassionate. And if there's anything in our lives that seems more important than the impulse to be generous, may the echoes of this prayer reverberate and vibrate and shake us back into reality. We are very blessed right now. And it is from this place that futures are born. And the future that I imagine for each in this room and each online and each within earshot, the future that I imagine is one of possibility. I'm not even going to name what that possibility is, because that possibility hasn't been invented yet. The things about which are headed our way don't even exist yet. But I'm open to it. I invite it. And I invite it through my behavior. I'm not waiting for the thing itself to come closer to me now. I'm partnering with the thing itself to make an impact in my world. And if anyone in this room finds anything about which I've said that resonates as true for them, I invite you to say with me out loud, and so it is. So the ushers are going to come forward and help us with the sharing of our gifts and tithes and offerings, and I'd like to say to those of you who are our guests, when the basket passes in front of you, give if you feel called, but know that as our guests, we have no expectation whatsoever. Please say the giving affirmation with me. Abundance reveals itself to me in extraordinary ways, and I embrace it. My abundant supply comes to me in an endless stream. I notice the opulence around me, and I am grateful for it.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest, you're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love, you're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug, you're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun, you're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter, you're my friend to the end, you're my dreams, you're my father, you're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround, I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds, you're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow, you're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow, you're the blessings that exist, small things that are bliss, give to realize everything is a gift.
All that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na. You say na 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 na. You say na 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 na. Grateful for it all.
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow. Keep moving forward. Start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors, and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything will feel gorgeous.
All that I see, all that I've been, all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. For it all. Grateful for it
Blessings sitting crowned and what I deserve. It doesn't matter. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
Lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far.
Everything I am, everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing.
All that I see, all that I feel, and all that
and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings, everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Hear the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize everything is a gift.
I am so glad to be back home. I was at a not CSL church last week. Wow. I'm really happy to be home. I missed you guys and I love you. And today was amazing. Thank you to all of our musicians, to our choir, Michelle, Dave, Nemo. Wow. So David mentioned, and Nemo mentioned his Empty Hands CD, and this man of extraordinary generosity is making the CD available for us for free if we want it. It's out there on the table. Dr. David posted yesterday the link where you can download it if you would just rather have a download copy of it. And donations aren't even expected, but of course graciously accepted, because then we get to be part in some small way of this amazing pilgrimage of this man, which is a privilege as well. So if you would like to support his pilgrimage, if you would like to help any of the funding of the things that he has spoken about in India, the people, the kids, the music, the women who make these hearts, and as a way of gaining a little bit more income for themselves, it's just remarkable. Everything about it is remarkable. If nothing else, stop at the table and say hi to Nemo, because he's awesome. And he is also touring the United States over the next 4 months. So you, if you would like, can introduce him to anyone whom you would think would like to host him. So if it's your company, right, maybe where you work, you want to have him come in and speak for an afternoon and do a song or something. If you have a yoga studio, another church or spiritual center, a school, if you want to have a living room concert, right, wouldn't that be awesome? Then please, you can go to emptyhandsmusic.com. You could talk to Nemo. There's a link where you can join the pilgrimage, and you can follow Nemo on his tour route, send him emails, and if you wish to connect him to friends that you have in the areas where he's traveling, that would be a beautiful way of actually joining him on his journey and leaving a bit of your own colored chalk dust on the ground. I've been away on vacation, and you guys have been busy. So today at 1 o'clock is our annual Animal Blessing. That is hosted by our Animal Connections group, and it's facilitated today by the soon-to-be Reverend Doris Hoffman. She will be blessing all of our furry and slithery and feathered friends and our furry children. And then at 1 o'clock, Kelly Jackson is here today. I don't know if Kelly's in the room yet, but Kelly is here today, and she is offering a free, I mean, this is amazing, it's her gift to the center, a free, fun, and innovative program for girls and young women ages 11 to 15 years old. And the program is designed to provide high-level coaching that helps them in their core confidence, becoming comfortable with themselves and who they are as they're growing into themselves. That is for free. Again, today from 1 to 3 o'clock. If you know a young woman, if you want to go grab a young woman with permission and bring them in to that, then please do so. We have certificated classes that are beginning for summer registration. We have 4 classes happening this summer. I know, it's summer already. How did that happen? But there are 4 that are being offered. I am teaching Beyond Limits during the day. So it's going to be on Tuesdays from 10 to 1 if you'd like a refresher, or if you haven't taken it yet. If you need childcare, please do let me know so that we can arrange it. We have Linda McKay, who's teaching spiritual economics. We have Debbie Slayton, who's teaching visioning. And we have Mitzi Silverberg, who's teaching the Edinburgh lectures. You can register for those classes online at home, or if you'd like help, you could go to the concierge in Fellowship Hall right on the other side of that wall after service. And our registrar, Max Overland, or Doris Hoffman, our coordinator of education, they can help you get signed up. The only thing that we ask is that you do try to pre-register. We've had a couple of instances where we didn't have enough enrollment, or we thought we didn't have enough enrollment and classes were canceled, and then people showed up the night of and we didn't have a class to give them. So that's the only reason why we ask you to pre-register, so that we can be ready for you and treat you as the honored guest that you are. And then this week at the center, Dr. David is doing his drop-in coaching with Sarah Moselle on Wednesday from 5:45 to 6:45. I'm back, Sowing Seeds of Greatness, also on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8. Our topic this month is enthusiasm, or as my friends call it, enthusiasm. So, I hope to see you Wednesday night at 7. On Thursday, we have our Awaken meditation from 7 to 8. And we'll sit in silence for an hour and then share a meal in silence with one another for an hour. Friday night, Eat, Pray, Love. The Women's Connection is Eat, Play, Love. The Women's Connection is actually having a spa night. They are requesting an RSVP, so please check your bulletin for that. What else is coming up? Gregory Merritt is doing a summer solstice and shamanic journey circle on June 6th. That's coming up. And then next Sunday is a really, really important day, because Dr. Gabriel Cousins will be here at the center. He's not only giving the Insight Talk, he's actually doing a workshop from 1 to 4:30, and this is a gentleman who has taught people the world over, throughout the U.S. and all, on enhancing their spiritual life through spiritual nutrition. He basically wrote the book on raw food, and the gift of a raw food diet, and holistically what it does for you, how it changes your immune system. He spoke in Oakland, and there were like 400 people there. So you want to register ahead of time for that. It will be a little bit more expensive at the door, so if you can pre-register, that would be great. And then on Tuesday, May 27th, I have a special invitation to those of you who want to just begin a dialogue with me on bringing back Center Stage Productions to our center, but bringing it back in a big way. Bringing it back with full-on sets and costumes and big productions the way it used to be. Y'all pray for me. But if you want to come to that meeting and just begin a dialogue with me about what's possible, what could be possible, any small part that you might want to play, like maybe you're a black belt shopper and you want to go and help with props, or maybe you're really good at wielding a hammer or a paintbrush. That's on Tuesday the 27th. Information is in your bulletin. And then on June 4th, one other thing that's really awesome that's coming up. We are privileged to host Authentic Voices, Our Stories. This is a traveling group of folks from throughout Centers for Spiritual Living, but it started with Reverend Georgia Prescott in our Sacramento Center. And these are 8 people who do a readers theater performance called Authentic Voices, Our Stories. And they are stories of diversity, people's experience with diversity, but it is funny. It's funny. It's poignant. They talk about what it's like to be a same-sex couple, to be a transgender person, to be a woman of color marrying a man not of color. So it's just fantastic. And the sociology department at Chico State said it was one of the most important education opportunities of our time. And we're asking for a $10 love offering, but no one's turned away. So we hope you can come on the 4th. And lastly, outreach. For the month of May, as has been our tradition, Dorcas Kelly and her group find ways for this community to help support the 200,000 or more soldiers who are serving our country in parts around the world, many of who don't often get news from home. So first of all, there is a list available in Fellowship Hall where you could maybe go and get some non-perishable things, little toiletries, and then we'll take them to Operation Care and Comfort. They package them, and they get shipped out to our men and women serving in all kinds of parts of the world. And also, we send love notes. So there are 2 tables set up in the tiled area near the stage, the carpeted area, near the stage, and you can sit, you can write a love note, a message of hope, a message of gratitude, and they will get sent out as well. That's happening, and any questions about that, you go to Fellowship Hall. As is our custom, if there is something in your life for which you would like prayer, something weighing heavy on your heart, or something you're so excited you could barely contain, please have a seat in the chapel, and a practitioner awaiting licensing or licensed practitioner will pray with you. And if you are part of our online community, there is an email. Just let Max know, and he will give you the email address, and you will get a call back within 15 to 20 minutes after service. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Nemo, come here for a second. By the way, we need to, at 12:30, Nemo needs to be on the road because he has an event in Berkeley to which he needs to get. But instead of me doing a benediction, would you tell us the story again about the slums, the people whose houses were destroyed and the way that they reacted? Would you tell us that as a benediction?
Sure. This story I shared in earlier service is a story that sticks with me as my reminder to be grateful. And I had spent about 3 years with 16 kids from different slum areas, and so they were like my kids, and their mom and dads I would call mom and dad, and we were all very close. And it was November 22nd of 2011. I get this phone call from Kaushik Bhai, who's Vishal's father. 15 missed calls. We had a show that night, so I didn't answer them. I thought he was just calling to say he couldn't make it. I called him the next morning, said, "Yeah, Dad, what happened?" He says, "I was calling you yesterday because our houses were demolished." And they're slum homes, like I was mentioning, very small, petite, like a tent, the size of a tent, with some, stones and stuff. And he says they demolished the whole half of one slum area, which they lived on, right by the riverbed, because they're doing a riverfront project. The government's doing a riverfront project. So they didn't give him any warning. They eventually relocated him, gave him new apartments, real apartments. So there was some good to that. In that moment, their life had been taken apart from them. Just imagine. Everything you have materially has just been vanished. And so I rush, I call him in the morning, I hear that news, and I rush to the grocery store, just get a bunch of stuff as much as I can. Go to the Gandhi Ashram, where we stay, and picked up the kids whose homes were impacted. And we arrive there, and it's chaos. And everybody has to kind of like sit on their stones, their broken stones, because they have to make sure that they mark what was their home before. But it's chaos, and in the chaos, finally we were able to find each other. And I wish I had a picture to show you, because there's a beautiful photo of Vishal's mother and Vishal. In the photo, they're smiling. They're just like... And the first thing they say, I see them, and the first words that come out of their mouth is, they're smiling, they give me a big hug and say, "What would you like to drink?" They say chai, coffee, or cold drink. Cold drink is like, like a Pepsi or Fanta or Thumbs Up or something. And I was just blown away, like my heart just sunk. I'm like, your whole life has just been taken away, and the first thing you can see and the first thing you can say is, how do I serve this person in front of me? We have a saying in the Indian tradition that guest is God. So any of you ever go to India, you always have a home to stay, because every single person will probably welcome you inside their home. It's like a stranger walking down. And I felt it. I felt that guest. I'm kind of their family, but they just broke it down for me. And it really broke it down to the roots to say, no matter where we are in our life, what situation, can we let God shine through in that moment? When times are tough, to just say, "Oh, how can I just be a little kinder? How can I offer myself, even though I know it's a tough day? And that gratitude that I take from them, I'd like to offer it here for all of us to take and spread to those around us. Thank you.
Would you all please stand and take the hand of the person on your right and on your left and repeat after me, which is our custom. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It's this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my relationships. Life is in my finances. Life is in my world. I see it. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I accept it. I express it just the way that it is and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.